Hey everyone, welcome to the UkeStuff channel. We are here for our what has become almost an annual Christmas shopping guide for a ukulele player in your life. And this is my son Luke, who is here to help me with this video. So let's begin. Here are 10 things that are actually pretty affordable that you can buy for an ukulele player in your life. What's the first thing we should cover?
We should cover
If you want, you hand me all of them then.
Okay.
All right. So first thing are, what are these called? You remember?
No.
Yeah. They are called picks, ukulele picks. Now, these actually are ones that have the Uke Stuff logo on them, and you can actually purchase these for basically a donation supporting me at buymeacoffee.com/ukestuff. And this is a leather pick made by my friends at parapole.com. I would suggest a leather or felt pick for an ukulele, not a plastic pick. So that's option number one for an affordable gift for an ukulele player. Okay, how about something else, Luke?
I think we should review the strap.
All right. Now, not necessarily this specific strap because you can't buy this anywhere. This is a strap that I had made for me by killerq.com. They were pretty affordable, and I ordered a bunch of them at one time. And they, of course, say the Uke Stuff logo on them. But if you want to customize a strap, that's a little more of an expensive route. But there are plenty of places to buy ukulele straps. I personally like the 1-inch width. I like that the best. Although some people like a thick guitar strap. So that's another option. Check out flight straps. They're, I think, 1.5 inches. They're a little bit wider. Very affordable though, like around $10. Most of the time, a custom strap is going to be around $22 to $25. Okay, what's next?
I think we should review the Capo.
All right. This is a Capo from G7th, and this is kind of a special Capo. They call it their Nashville Capo. Again, some people really have a bad attitude towards capos out there, but this one actually is kind of special because it clips on as you're playing this way, and it stays out of your hand as you're playing chords, out of the way of your hand when you're playing chords. So it's relatively new. Nobody's really talked about it. I need to do a full review of this. I was lucky enough to have a prototype of this to check out, and I have a couple of these now. The Nashville G7th Capo I really like as an option. It is spring-loaded, so you can't customize it like the Shub Ukulele Capo, which is another really great choice. But this one, for its usefulness in the way that it stays out of the way of your hand, is really incredible. All right, what do you have next?
Strings.
Strings. Couple different ways you can go here. I always like the Martin M600s for sopranos and concerts and the M620s for tenors. I'm not really a fan of the baritone version with the wound strings. I usually go with Living Waters, but I'm a fluorocarbon player, so there are a lot of other options out there. Ukelogic, which is run by Joel from the ukulele site. He's in their setup department. Worth strings. It could be Aquila Supernalga strings, or if you don't know what kind of strings the ukulele player uses in your life, you could ask, or you could buy them a gift certificate for something like Strings by Mail, where they could order maybe with a gift card or something like that. So strings, always a great affordable choice for an ukulele player.
We should use the oil.
Fretboard oils. F1 is known not to stain, for example, like a maple neck. A lot of people use lemon oil as well. I did some tests. I really couldn't see the difference in the long term. F1 says that theirs lasts longer or whatever. Some people use other sorts of mineral oils and other things, but I always at least suggest using a fretboard oil. Very inexpensive and something that can always be used. Here's the, again, Music Nomad F1 and, for example, the Dunlop 65 lemon oil fretboard oil. What's next, Luke?
The tuner.
Yes. Tuners are great. They're inexpensive, but if you're looking for a really, really good tuner, actually I have two here. I'll show you the other one too. This one is called the UniTune by TC Electronics. In the United States, it's only available from Sweetwater. They do go on sale from time to time, and the only negative is that you can't turn the head on it, but this one is probably the most sensitive clip-on tuner on the market, and it's not that expensive. The other tuner here is the Peterson iStrobosoft much more expensive, like double or three times the cost when this one is on sale. Then this one also very, very, very effective. Now, will any clip-on tuner work? Sure, but if you're looking for a gift, you might want to buy something that's going to be really accurate, and that would be either the UniTune by TC Electronics or the Peterson here, their iStroba Clip HD tuner. All right, what you got for us next, Luke?
I got this.
The Music Nomad Octopus. This has been an annual recommendation. So you've got these, sort of like sockets to tighten things on your instrument up here, and then you can switch it back and forth between your Phillips head and your standard flathead screwdriver. And there's also a little 1/2-inch nut driver up there in the top. Great device to have. You can keep it with your kit of stuff. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it gives you a lot of tool options, especially if you have somebody that has friction tuners. This is very useful. What do you got next?
The battery.
Okay. You have an ukulele player in your life, and you know that they use batteries in some of their devices. How about a pack of CR2032 batteries? I generally like to just buy the 8-pack at IKEA for like $3. You got to be careful on Amazon buying, or eBay buying CR2032s because they might be out of date or whatever. So, you want to buy from an established source and that sort of thing. But nonetheless, a nice stocking stuffer or something, 2032 batteries. What else you got? Humidifier. You might live in an area where you don't need an ukulele humidifier. And if you're playing instruments that are laminated instruments, you probably don't need one. But if you have a solid top or a solid ukulele, and you live somewhere where the humidity is outside of the range between 40% at the low and 60% at the high, you might want to invest in a decent humidifier. This is probably considered the high end of an ukulele humidifier, the Oasis ukulele humidifier. I would highly recommend if you're not going to make your own. I generally make my own out of water beads and either quarter coin tubes or test tubes. That's what I do for my collection, but I do have a couple of these Oasises as well. Very, very highly recommended. The ukulele site, again, a fantastic dealer, will include those if they know they're shipping an ukulele somewhere where the humidity is going to fall under that 40%. Now, where we live, living near Minnesota on the Wisconsin side of the border, one of the things that we know here is that inside our houses in the winter, because of indoor heat and so forth, the humidity actually drops here below that of the Sahara Desert inside of our homes and our schools and our workplaces where we're at. So humidifier, very highly recommended for you to use where you store your instrument. And just as a side note, it may not be a great idea to super humidify your house because then you can have other issues. So this allows you to humidify inside of a case or inside of a gig bag and sort of keep that better under control and help your instrument from the challenges of that. You'll also know if your instrument is in need of humidity if all of a sudden you start feeling sharp fret ends because the wood is shrinking as it dries out. So if you start feeling sharp fret ends, hey, maybe I should start humidifying that ukulele. What else you got for us? A string action ruler. Not a very expensive tool, but one as you play more where you'll want to make sure that your instruments are set up correctly. So it allows you to measure the action of the instrument. You can also do things like measure nut width and things like that with a string action ruler. I used to have a plastic one that I actually have a version of that I carry around in my wallet at all times in case I'm checking out an ukulele on the go. But the metal ones here are the standard, and they're available, Amazon, eBay. But another great stocking stuffer or inexpensive gift for an ukulele player if they don't have one. Now, that was 10 items. Here's a bonus 11th. A string winder / clipper combo. Now, if you have watched my channel for a while, you know that I use this. This is a Jawoom Smart Tuner, the T2. They're about $80 or so, and I use these in school to tune 40 ukuleles at a time. It does not work with a UPT, an ukulele planetary tuner. It does not work with a friction tuner, but all geared tuners this will work with. And this will actually allow, when you turn it on, to also help with string changes, almost like a screwdriver with one of those little bits in for the tuning peg. Well, this will do the same thing without the power, so that's nice. And then you also have a string clipper to cut the excess strings off with at the end. So if the ukulele player in your life does not have that, highly recommended. This isn't necessarily a recommendation for every ukulele player, but if you know somebody that has a bunch of ukuleles, or somebody that runs a store, or is a teacher that teaches ukulele, that would be a good gift too. But for most people, this will be all that they need. All right, so that's our quick look at relatively affordable, relatively accessible gifts for an ukulele player in your life. Anything you want to add?
Not much.
Not much. All right. Well, we want to wish you a very happy holiday. If you celebrate Christmas, we wish you a very Merry Christmas because that's what we celebrate. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving, a great Christmas, and a great New Year. Oh, and by the way, should add a couple more things. Many of these products are linked on my Amazon referral page, which should be in the description below if you want to check it out. And if you want to support this channel, there are 3 things you can do. First of all, you can like this video. Second, you can subscribe to the channel. And third, you can always buy me a cup of coffee to say thanks for making this content at buymeacoffee.com/ukestuff, where also those pics are available. And I also have a set of arrangements of Christmas carols that you could purchase there as well as the ukulele video method, which is really intended for schools. Eventually, I'm going to have a hymn collection there, but it's taking me a while to record all the demos of that, so it's still going to be out there way before that's released. All right, so once again, thank you for watching the video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you. And I don't know when you'll see Luke again. At the very least, maybe next holiday. All right, thanks so much. We'll talk to you later.